Welcome back from the break, everyone. This is our collection of our top 10 favourite spin-off games. If there's some that you think we've missed, jump on our Facebook page and let us know. Stay tuned.
At number 10 is Forza Horizon. In this game you get to drive fast cars around Colorado for the Horizon Festival. Some critics have said that this is a game that finally brings car enthusiasts together with the realistic open roads they crave. At number 9 is Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. It gives you an 80s experience without the 80s graphics, managing to both pay tribute and parody the coin-guzzling arcade era of old by letting you explore a neon-tinted 80s vision of the future.
On a desperate mission to bring down a battalion of ruthless killer cyborgs.
At number 8 is The Typing of the Dead Overkill. This game is a spin-off from House of the Dead, but instead of shooting, the player must type specific words in order to kill zombies and other enemies. At number 7 is Luigi's Mansion. Who would have thought the day would come when Luigi gets to be the main character and not second best? So what could be better than winning a free mansion? How about finding out it's haunted and having to get rid of the ghosts yourself? At number 6 is Pokemon Pinball. It's a fun pinball game with secret stages and interesting mechanics. The aim of the game is to get as many points as possible while capturing Pokemon to fill your Pokédex. You even have to evolve your already captured Pokemon. At number 5 is Killzone Mercenary. Made for the PlayStation Vita, it's a side story set during the first 3 Killzone games. It's the best first-person shooter by far made for the PlayStation Vita.
There is no good. There is no evil. There is only the mission.
At number 4 is Super Smash Bros. The game is a crossover between several different Nintendo franchises, such as Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Pokemon. From this game, they've sprouted a few sequels and has become pretty popular among Nintendo fans. At number 3 is Portal. Technically, it's a spin-off of Half-Life. Who knew? The game has stamped itself into pop culture and is widely known as one of the best puzzle games ever made. It even has its own prequel comic. At number 2 is Kingdom Hearts. The game features characters from across Disney's movies and TV shows and Square Enix's list of games, most notably the Final Fantasy series. The game has been a huge success and has quickly become popular with all age groups.
The Heartless have great fear of the Keyblade. That's why they'll keep coming after you, no matter what.
When you're asleep.
And the number 1 spin-off game is Mario Kart. Easily the most successful spin-off of all time, Mario Kart is an awesome game to sit down and play by yourself or with friends. With multiple tracks and familiar characters to play as, you'll have fun while hoping no one gets that blue shell.
If you're going to get Typing of the Dead Overkill, I highly recommend picking up all of the DLC as the game's pretty fun as it is, but if you want to make it really funny, the word packs are just hilarious.
DLC, different kinds of words. I just find that really weird.
Oh, it's great. And then, of course, Mario Kart, the number 1 best spin-off game that was ever made.
And also the best kart racer out there.
Hands
Absolutely.
As, like you said, Vince, just before, makes or breaks friendships.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure a blue shell or two has like broken apart some people. Right now, though, Vince is going to take us through the Fallout franchise.
Fallout series has always been one that I've been extremely interested in. Although I've played Fallout 3 to death, I feel as though I don't know enough about the other games in the series to be satisfied. So much has happened in the background of this series that I feel I needed to delve deeper into the vault of knowledge on the Fallout universe. Fallout is a post-apocalyptic role-playing series that was created by Interplay Entertainment back in 1997. Its predecessor, Wasteland, was released in 1988 for the Commodore 64, Apple II, and PC-DOS. Though the two game worlds are different, they are both set during the 22nd and 23rd centuries, and have a post-war culture feel from 1950s America, along with extremely similar characters, locations, and inhabitants. The technology is retro-futuristic, with various ray gun machines such as laser weaponry and Forbidden Planet-style robots. Computers use vacuum tubes instead of transistors, the architecture of ruined buildings feature Art Deco designs, and energy weapons resemble those used by Flash Gordon. Advertising and branding have a distinct 1950s feel. The series is set in an alternate reality world where, 100 years beforehand, a war waged between the European Commonwealth and the Middle East, the United Nations disbanded, the Chinese invaded and took over Alaska, and the US conquered Canada. These eventually caused the Great War in 2077, a cataclysmic nuclear exchange that lasted a total of 2 hours, which created the post-apocalyptic United States setting of Fallout. This led to atomic physics being the furthest that science progressed, and would cause the world to be somewhat stuck in the 1950s era. 23 years prior to the Great War, the US government sets Project Safe House in motion in 2054 to build fallout shelters called vaults, which were designed to support up to 1,000 people, as they would be self-sufficient to a point where inhabitants could live indefinitely. 400,000 vaults were intended to be built, but in the end only 122 were constructed, and most of these vaults were used to conduct various experiments, ranging from exposing inhabitants to a mutagenic virus, to setting up the equipment that makes the vault's clothing to fail immediately after the door closes. You could probably guess that many of these vaults were so self-destructive that by the time other survivors opened them, they were nothing but graveyards. Both Fallout 1 and 2 had 2D isometric graphics as well as turn-based combat, and were developed by Black Isle Studios in association with Interplay Entertainment, but they were threatened by bankruptcy and ended up selling the Fallout franchise to Bethesda, who went on to release Fallout 3 in 2008. It was a massive hit with its updated 3D graphics, a free-roam gaming world, and the VATS enhanced real-time combat. There was lawsuit after lawsuit between these companies, and because of this, the development of Fallout Online was stopped, but that isn't to say there won't be one released at some point down the track. Pete Hines at Bethesda Softworks said, "The whole reason we went out and acquired the license and that we now own Fallout is that we clearly intend to make more than one. This is not something we're going to do once and then go away and never do it again. When that will be or how long that will take, God only knows. But we acquired it specifically because we wanted to own and develop it, and work on it like we do with the Elder Scrolls series." In each game there is a large amount of Easter eggs. I wouldn't be able to list them all, but some of the most recognised ones are from Bioshock, Doctor Who, Forrest Gump, Futurama, Anchorman, Indiana Jones, Lassie, Mad Max, Sesame Street, RoboCop, Star Wars, and even Snow White. Fallout 1 takes place in 2161, where you're a vault dweller who has been sent out into the wasteland to find a replacement water chip which regulates the filtering and recycling systems of the water purifier in your home, Vault 13. Initially, Fallout was intended to run under the GURPS role-playing game system, but there was a disagreement with the creator of GURPS over the game's violent content. This required Black Isle Studios to develop the Special system. Special is an acronym for the primary statistics system within the game: strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. Fallout 2 takes place 80 years after Fallout, and centers around a descendant of the Vault Dweller, the protagonist of Fallout 1. The player assumes the role of the Chosen One as he tries to save his village after several years of drought and death. Additional features include several changes to the game world, including significantly more pop culture jokes and parodies, such as multiple Monty Python referencing, special random encounters, and self-parodying dialogue that broke the fourth wall to mention game mechanics. Fallout 3 won countless awards back in 2008, including Xbox 360's Game of the Year and E3's Best of Show. The story picks up 30 years after the setting of Fallout 2. The player is a Vault Dweller in Vault 101 who is forced to flee when the Overseer tries to arrest him in response to the player's father leaving the vault. Once free, the player is dubbed the Lone Wanderer and ventures into the wastes in and around Washington DC, known as the Capital Wasteland, to find their father. Before Fallout 3 was started by Bethesda, Black Isle Studios started on their version of the game, which was much like Fallout 1 and 2 and was supposedly going to be named Fallout Van Buren. Bethesda was very fast to drop the original design and convert it to an FPS RPG. The original plot and story was nowhere to be found in Fallout 3, and Van Buren was thought to be gone without a trace. But in 2005, design documents were leaked onto the internet containing almost every detail and design of the game. In 2010, Bethesda Game Studios and Obsidian Entertainment, which was composed of a few old employees from Black Isle Studios, created Fallout New Vegas. This new entry into the Fallout series took a great number of things out of Van Buren, such as the NCR and Hoover Dam, and placed them in a more modernised scene. Though there is pure mystery still surrounding Fallout 4, I can guarantee it will be just as much of a blast to play as the previous games in the series.
You'll think of me